Today we're going to learn the imperfect subjunctive. In order to form the imperfect subjunctive, all you need to do is take the infinitive of the verb, and by this I mean the second principal part, or the present active infinitive. Then we take the entire infinitive, we don't remove anything, and we add on the personal endings. For the personal endings of the imperfect subjunctive, in the active voice, instead of OST, here we have MST, mus, tis, nt. And in the passive voice, we have no change from what we're used to seeing. So we have R, ris, ter, mer, mini, and unter. As a result, we will create forms that look like these on our left. Amarem, amares, amaret for the active, and amarer, amareres, and amaretur for the passive. I've only provided the singulars for you here, but the plurals would look as you would expect following the same pattern. Let's do an example. Let's go ahead and do the imperfect subjunctive of moneo, monere, monui, monetum. Once again, I'm going to take our second principal part, or the present active infinitive, and that's going to be the stem upon which we add the personal endings. So I'll go ahead and write monere in all 6 blanks. Now if we want to do the imperfect subjunctive of moneo in the active voice, we're going to add our endings m, s, t, mus, tis, nt, creating the forms monarem, monores, monoret, monoremus, monoretus, monorent. Now, if we wanted to do this in the passive, we would just change the endings. So this is what we would get. Monorer, monoreris, monoretur, monoremer, monoremini, and monorentur. Now, for deponent verbs, we need to make a little adjustment because deponent verbs are lacking those crucial endings of are, ere, and ire that we are used to seeing for the present active infinitive, because deponent verbs use the present passive infinitive forms for their infinitives. So what we need to do is imagine that the deponent verb had a present active infinitive. Just create it in our head. We'll determine which of the endings to use based on the conjugation of the deponent verb. For example, sequor, sequi is third conjugation, and we know this because it has the I ending for the present infinitive. So, in our head, we're going to imagine that the present active infinitive form for sequor is sequere, pulling on the third conjugation, ere ending, for the present active infinitive. So, in order to form the imperfect subjunctive, we're going to take this form sequere and write it in all 6 blanks. All right, now we just have to add our endings. What do you think? Should we use the active or the passive voice endings for a deponent verb? If you guess passive, that's great. We're going to use that r, ris, ter, mer, mini, unter ending. So we're going to create the forms sequerer, sequereris, sequeretur, sequeremur, sequeremini, and sequerentur.